morning, guys. I'm back. I'm excited. That was my version of dancing. Hold on. Let me just share my stuff. It's been an interesting week. Thank you for being patient. And I posted something about not going live last week, and I'll go into why in this live. I missed you guys. I missed you guys so much. Okay, hold on here. If you're just joining, please say hi, where you're from. It's supposed to be interactive, so I would love if you guys participated. Coffee. And yes, my hair is a little lighter, if anybody's wondering. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and begin. First of all, I kind of always talk about the weather in the beginning with New York City, and it's been very interesting because it's been like rainy, but it's also been, yesterday it was like 55 degrees. It was almost 60 degrees. It's very strange temperatures. Like, last week it was like 20s, 30s, and it's been like that for a while, and then now it's getting like a little hot, so I'm actually like in a tank top and shorts right now, so it's like really confusing, because then they like still crank the heat in my apartment. It's very interesting, but, alright guys, let's start. I am so glad to be back. I took a week off of Facebook Lives. Long story short, my energy was completely drained, and this happens to me from time to time, and, you know, as somebody who considers themselves a spiritual teacher, intuitive coach, I know I usually introduce myself. Sorry, I'm Justine, if anybody's watching. I'm Justine Leslie, and I do intuitive coaching, spiritual teaching, crystal healing, all of those things under that umbrella. And I first got into spirituality because something traumatic happened to me, and I needed help in the healing department, and I was an atheist at the time. If I really look back, I wasn't really an atheist, but that's a whole other story. And I needed spirituality to kind of get me out of it. But really another reason why spirituality has helped me tremendously is because I am someone that is not good with balance. And I think it's really important for balance to be a part of your life, because balance really helps you with the two main things, time and energy. And for me, I consider myself a very ambitious person. I have a ton of goals that I want to achieve in my lifetime, so you know, this word hustle that I'm doing this live about, you know, is it a positive or a negative thing? That's something that I've been questioning for a while now, because I hustle, and I do get the things that I want. You know, I do achieve my goals by hustling. But for me, and usually I'm not a black and white person, but for me, what I came to about hustle is that it could be a positive thing if it was used correctly. Now, what does that mean? That means that if you're hustling, you need to, and which means, when I say hustle, I mean working longer hours, or working harder, or, you know, picking up a second job, whatever it is, you have to balance that out, and there's that word balance again, because that's key to relaxation, pause, meditation, stillness, be present. And I have not been present these last few weeks. I would say maybe since the new year. And because, you know, the new year, I really made a lot of, I set a lot of intentions for this year. My word for the year was focus, and I wanted to focus on the things that I wanted, and I got a little out of control. And thanks for the likes, guys. Yeah, so if this resonates with you, you get a goal, you get really focused, you get really ambitious, then you go off, on the hustle, and then you burn out afterwards. And really, that happened to me in the last 6 weeks, and I'm still feeling it a little bit. So I took a week off because, not to say that these lives drain me, but they do take energy, right? They take positive energy, but it's still energy, and I love doing them, but, I couldn't, I've been sleeping later, I couldn't get up, and, instead of beating yourself up about stuff like that, what you really need to be doing is honoring what your body is trying to tell you, because that really comes to my favorite word, intuition, right? Honoring what you're actually feeling at the time. And and your body understands that you have goals, right? Your intuition understands. But if you're doing too much, you'll crash. Trust me, you will. And I did. And thankfully, it's not as bad as what it's been in the past. And which means I've actually put myself in the hospital because of stress and anxiety. And the stress and anxiety hasn't been too much. But, hi, Lance. Thanks for joining. All is well, thank you. So, honoring, what your body is trying to tell you is so important because, oh my God, I love your hair. Get me in touch with you before the end of this month. Yay, Frankie! Awesome. Looking forward to that. So, that got me really excited. Thank God my energy's up for that. And that's actually a good point because when I started, and watch what you're, that's the other thing, too, because my energy started to drain because I was doing things that take double the energy, right? When you do things that are super positive, like these lives, they don't really drain me too much compared to the things that are kind of on the negative scale, were things that I'm doing, for example, just to make money or saying yes to things that I really don't want to be doing, that kind of thing. So be careful what you say yes and no to, and that's kind of the other part of what I mean about this live, is I really had to examine the last 2 weeks, and that's what I did last week, very, very thoroughly, really understand what drains me and what uplifts me. And it is very, very easy, and I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking, like, how do I know before you do the activity? I like to visualize. So, for example, somebody asks you to do something with them. Take the time before, you don't have to answer right away. And I think a lot of people think that they have to answer right away, like give a yes or no. Tell them, give me a couple hours, let me think about it. Then sit down and do a nice visualization in your head. And when you do a visualization, by the way, be truthful about it. Because I think that's part of the issue too, because you think it'll go a certain way, but that's just the mind creating a scenario, because maybe you don't really want to go, or maybe you do really want to go. So you, and especially if you're a dreamer like I am, you, create these scenarios. But when you're doing a visualization, stick to the truth, right? Really be truthful. Don't try to sway, oh my God, it would be a great time. Oh my God, it would be a terrible time. Really just try to make it for what it is. Just visualize being there, how it'll make you feel. And then if it feels positive, then agree to go. If it feels negative, don't go, right? So, but that's the key, right? Be truthful in the visualization. So, and then I know what a lot of people are thinking, because this happens to me a lot, is that once we say no, we get this guilt spiral coming in, right? And, that's something that I've been working on as well, because the last week I had to turn a lot of people down on things that I wanted to be doing, because I needed to do rest, relaxation, be present, that type of thing. I needed to kind of, calm down. So, that's a hard one, right? I don't actually have a straight answer for you for guilt. I do notice the correlation of guilt with self-confidence and really being connected to the higher self. So when we're connected to the higher self and we're truthful to our desires, that can bring us to a place of self-confidence. And the more confident we are, the less guilty we tend to feel. So that's kind of helpful for me. Hopefully it'll be helpful for you. So, so I pretty much burnt myself out. I'm not sitting here saying, because I'm a spiritual teacher, these things don't happen to me. I teach because these things happen to me. And I think it's important for people to really understand that we're all human and we're all just trying to make it in this world. We're all trying to be happy. We're all trying to heal. We're all trying to achieve our goals, and we can do it in a way where we don't burn ourselves out all the time, because I have a pattern of doing that. But the truth is, too, so let me talk universe talk here, because what we need to realize is that when it comes to hustle, it's not about how hard and fast you work. It's about what you're doing and the vibration of how you're feeling doing it is what is going to really make you successful. Because I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the saying, find something you're passionate about and never work a day in your life, or, do what you're passionate about and the money will come. A lot of people think these are cliches, but it's true, because it's part of universal law. Because once you're doing something that is, desirable or passionate to you, you vibrate out those positive energy about, you love what you're doing, so you're radiating love, and that's what the world really needs, and the universe will respond to it, and that's why you will be successful. You will be taken care of as long as you follow your path, which is why I went into intuitive coaching in the first place, because I know that is true. And I help people find their passion. I help people find their desires. I help people get to their desires. I help them be truthful with what they really, really want. And I think that's so important, because then you can eliminate all of this stress, all of this passion equals success. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And you can eliminate all of this background noise, right? So guys, think about that. And I know money is like the number one stressor for a lot of people, including myself. But I'm telling you, if you're passionate about what you're doing, the money will come. And you just, it all comes back to trusting the universe that it has your back. And it always, always does. So just remember that. Alrighty. I think I am heading out. I think this was a good coming back live. Anyway, I want to leave you with this. When you feel very drained, like I did last week, please do things for yourself. Sleep in. Do anything to you that's self-care. I spent Saturday night rewatching one of my favorite shows with not doing work on the side. I just focused and watched the movie for pure entertainment value. And as, things that we think are... how do I say this? We take things for granted, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't think I've watched a show like that in a very, very long time without any distractions, without it being something on the background of, while I'm working. It was actually just the show and the show only, and pure entertainment for like 5 to 6 hours. And obviously I really, really need it because I actually really enjoyed it. So, self-care. And also did my hair. I cannot tell you how much different I feel after doing my hair. You feel like a brand new person. I wrote a blog post years ago, if you go on my site, about hair and why it's connected for females, about how good they feel. For some reason it is. It's kind of like a transformation process, but you can go ahead and read that if you want, or I can do a live about it. But I just feel so good. It was needed, desperately needed. So I'm really, really glad that I had the opportunity to do that. So I'm glad I had a week off. I'm glad you guys could understand. I will be back tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining in, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.